What's up, bottom feeder? I need to say sorry because last week I didn't publish my weekly video, but there is a good reason for that. You know, I usually record during the weekend and I was busy reaching the final of an IPT. I split the final, which is something to be truly ashamed of, but I have a good reason for that too. I needed to went back to my family because it was very late. It was a very cool tournament and let's see what deck I used. And that's the deck, I-Tide, and I reached the final with I-Tide. To be honest, like 4 or 5 days before the tournament, I wasn't sure what to play because, I don't know, I wasn't settled on anything, and I kept hearing Walker saying, oh, they should ban I-Tide, I-Tide is too strong, it loses to just 2 decks, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, you know, if it's true that I-Tide is so strong, then why not play the deck? It's a very hard deck to play, mind you, but I played a lot of stormy stuff in my life, and I thought, well, maybe I could manage to do that. And I asked Edo01 and Wolf777, which are 2 very good I-Tide players from Italy, and they gave me some good advice, and yeah. This is basically the list I settled on, and it worked well. The list is pretty stock. The only change in the main deck is playing 1 Augur of Bolas in place of the 4th Hidden Strings, because, yeah, first of all, Snap, it's an Hidden String, right? It's basically like an Hidden String, so I have 4 ways to untap. And second of all, having all these untap effects is important when you need to go fast. But when you need to go fast, you probably enjoy having an Augur of Bolas, because versus Mono Red and Fairies and Terror, having something to block can be very good. Also, having even just 1 creature in the deck means that if your opponent does not have creature on the board, you can snap your Augur of Bolas. So I think that's value in having just 1 creature. And when it comes to the sideboard, I wanted the full set of Augur of Bolas. And then in the tournament, I had 1 more Blue Elemental Blast because I wanted to edge versus the Mono Red decks. And I beat 3 during the tournament, so it was good. But at the same time, I faced 2 Spy decks. One by, I know, someone I don't remember the name of, and the other one was Alessandro Piraccini, Pauper winner, very good player, very nice guy, and I beat them 2-0 and 2-0. But there were some turns in which if they went for a turn 4 Spy, I would have lost. So I guess having 1 more thing to stop the combo could be good, a fast combo could be good, and Envelope, I think it's better than another copy of Muddle the Mixture, because you can go like turn 3, you Merchant Scroll for Envelope and pass with Envelope up, and you cannot do that with Muddle the Mixture, so I think it can be good. Also, Envelope, it's good in the mirror match, because you can counter Ideas Unbound, and once they splice, they tap all the mana, you counter Ideas Unbound, and maybe they run out of mana and cards and stuff like that, and it's also good versus Ponza, and I don't know, it's a pretty strong card. Yeah, I played just 2 Giga Draws in the sideboard in the tournament, but I think if you want to beat the Fairies deck, you need to rely on Giga Draws, and having the 4th one can be good. I know the 2nd copy it's not very good, and the 3rd is even worse, but you need the card. So I prefer to draw 3 than to draw 0. Other than that, the list is pretty stock, and big shout out to Wolf and to Edo, which are very, very good and very, very nice. And big shout out also to Edo, which gave me a sideboard guide, and I didn't even read it. I just sleeved cards with a different sideboard than what it advised me to do, and during the tournament I improvised the sideboarding, but I was lucky enough and it worked. Before we start the league, I want to remember you to check out my sponsor, Mezzo Chalo & Friends, because when it comes to tokens, they are the best. yeah, Giorgio, you do that because they are your sponsor and you are obliged to do that and blah, blah, blah. That's not entirely true. I am proud to have them as my sponsor. In fact, I asked them to be my sponsor and they said yes. And I'm very glad for that because I think they are the best. They are responsible for some of the prizes for the Pauper. For example, this one that I won in Pisa 1 year ago. And yeah, I think they deserve some more attention. And also, if you like podcasts about Pauper, I have a podcast about Pauper with Walker and Season of Mists. And it's called the Pyrocast. We talk about strategy and we talk about the lore of Lega Pauper Italia. So people who has a lot of accomplishments, people who did some funny stuff. So it's you have episodes for the grindy players and you have episodes for the people who love the community more. I think it's cool. You could try and give it a chance. I would appreciate that. And now let's start the league and see how the deck goes. Welcome to match number 1 with iTide, and this is a keeper, as it usually happens with this deck. It's pretty easy to keep with this deck because you have preordained lands, and basically every 1 lander with cantrip it's a keep, and every 2 lander it's basically always a keep. And here we need one of 2 pieces of the combo. We have lands, we have 3 lands, that's all we need. Oh, one too many lands probably. And we need to find another iTide and untap effect, the puppetry. Okay, the arcane is good and we are gonna cast it in search for a Psychic Puppetry. Okay, we need 2 iTide and 1 puppetry, or 2 puppetries and 1 iTide. And 2 iTide it's better. So one could maybe take the second iTide with Peer. But this way, everything I draw, it's good, right? If I draw iTide, I can start, and if I draw puppetry, I can start. While if I take the second iTide and then I draw iTide and not puppetry, I cannot start the combo. And next turn, we are gonna pieces on our turn. If it wasn't for the pieces, we could have Lorien on upkeep to shuffle the deck, because we put some good cards on the bottom of the library. But we have bigger fish to fry, and yeah, we are gonna take Merchant Scroll for sure. And yeah, the second Merchant Scroll, it's a little bit slow, but I don't think we are in a rush in this matchup, so I think it's better to do that. Next turn we are gonna play the first land, and we are gonna Merchant Scroll 2 times. One for a tide, and the second one for an arcane spell, I think, or maybe for a puppetry. It depends what do we find. But you know, second puppetry is to go up on mana, but we have strings, so it's not that important, I think. We could find more mana along the way. And remember, we have an iTide on the bottom of the deck because we put that on the bottom with Peer. Yeah, we are gonna discard Lorien Revealed because we are gonna shuffle back with Merchant Scroll, and we need the fourth land because we are gonna play 2 Merchant Scroll on the next turn. That's not a very good draw, but I don't think it's a problem. So the first one is surely for iTide. And the second one, yeah, at this point I think we need an arcane to start the chain. So we are gonna grab a Peer Through Depths. And we could start next turn, or we could even just pass because we are not in a hurry. And remember, I like to play this deck kinda like a control deck of sorts. If you are not killing me, I don't care what you are doing, because even if I am out 1 life point, I can kill you out of nowhere, right? And game 1, they do not have duress or stuff like that, or at least it's unlikely that they have, so we are not in a hurry. Probably next turn we are gonna just pass again. Yeah. 4 and 4, 8, yeah, I think we can safely... yeah, you know, it's pretty unlikely that we fizzle here, but there's no need to take risks, right? Next turn we are gonna have another draw spell, because let's say we cast all the iTides, we go for Peer Through Depths, and we find Ideas Unbound, and we Ideas Unbound to 3 lands, and then we lose the game probably. Why? There's no point in taking the risks, right? you should take risks in bad matchups, and you should not take risks in the good matchups. And that's how it usually works. And my opponent asks, "Sono morto?" which means I'm dead. And I answered, yeah, probably. And now, yeah, I think we are gonna go because we have basically infinite mana and it's pretty hard to fizzle now. So I'm gonna go all in into my combo and splice. Yeah. And no way. Yeah, I think we lost. Okay, maybe I should have passed the turn. That's incredible stuff. Yeah, I at this point I think the safest thing to do is to cast this one and shuffle back the 3 high tides and a merchant scroll to go get the high tide. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. Okay, your turn. And now we need to find an high tide and a draw spell, and we have 3 turns, maybe 2. Because that's 5. Yeah, no, 2 turns. Yeah, we have 2 turns. We can tap a creature, maybe gain 1 turn, but it's unlikely. Okay. And they dispute in search for something to put up more pressure, I think, because that's what they should do right now. And you know, maybe I could have passed the turn, but I didn't want to go to discard, because if I go to discard and they play a refurbished familiar, it seemed very unlikely to fizzle, and it was unlikely that going to discard was bad, but more likely than me to fizzle. But maybe I was wrong, I don't know. And this is a Chrysalis, and yeah, I think we have... Do we have... this is 5 if they map the rat, and then it's 10. Yeah, we have another turn if we tap the Chrysalis. Let's see. And they wisely pump the shaman, because if I tap the rat, I gain 3 life. In this way, they split the damage a little bit. Okay, they pump and they play a spell bomb. Okay. Very, very funny. Okay, and yeah, I need to not miss here. Brainstorm could be good. High Tide could be good, or a Merchant Scroll or stuff like that. Okay. And I'm not firing off the Brainstorm now, because I have a lot of mana and I can waste 2 mana on my combo turn. 2 mana, because if I cast High Tide and I tap an island before the High Tide, it's 2 mana that I lose. But that's not a problem, because I have 2 hidden strings. And now I need to Psychic Puppetry and tap the Chrysalis, or else I'm dead. Pretty impressive stuff, to be honest. And I'm gonna tap the Spell Bomb with the second Puppetry, because I could tap 2 creatures, but I'm not dead anyways. I don't think they play... Oh yeah, they do play Galvanic Blast. So... Ah, okay, so it was a misplay. I didn't realize they had the Galvanic Blast. I thought this was the stock list. Okay, so it was better to tap the refurbished familiar. Yeah, I want to tap. And okay, if you have Galvanic Blast, I lose the game. And if not, I still lose the game, I think. Unless I go for a Miracle Brainstorm, because now I don't even have the second Puppetry. And yeah, the Galvanic Blast. Pretty impressive stuff. Okay, so... and yeah, I would have lost anyways. Okay. They will side in some Duress and Pyroblasts. and I need to put in some Giga Draws to stop them from stopping us. So Giga Draws is good, and I don't think I need more than 1 Giga Draws. I could side out the Augur of Bolas for another Giga Draws, but I don't think it's really needed because they also have duress, so I don't want to go too low on card draw. And they usually have like 6 to 8 interaction spells in the form of duress and pyroblast. Usually they max out on duress because duress is better versus the mono red madness variants, while pyroblast is good versus decks they fear less, but it's not a given. Okay, and this is a nice keep, and we need basically 2 pieces of the combo to start. I could take 2 merchant scrolls, but I don't want to miss land drops, so I am gonna take just 1. And on the second turn, I'm surely gonna go for, okay, duress. Probably take the Eye Tide, I think. Or maybe the merchant scroll. You know, if you take the Eye Tide, I lose 2 mana to go search for Eye Tide. But merchant scroll is better in the long run because maybe I draw Eye Tide and merchant scroll then becomes a Psychic Puppetry. So it's probably better to take the merchant scroll. And starting the game with 2 Hidden Strings, it's not the best because this is a card that it's not very useful. It's useful if you wanna combo fast, but I don't wanna combo fast in this matchup. So this is not the better. I'm gonna take Eye Tide again, and if you have another duress, okay, fine. And now I need to draw lands, and if I don't draw land, I will fire off an Eddy's Unbound because yeah, it's card disadvantage, but you know, I have more Hidden Strings than I need. They skip land drops? No. Okay. They thought about what lands to play, so it means that they probably have an untapped land and something to play with the land. I don't know. Maybe they were thinking about cycling the Spellbomb. Maybe they have another one. I don't know. I don't think I need to rush things. Yeah. And I'm gonna discard Hidden Strings. And they have Pyroblast up. And we draw a Peer Through Depths. I don't wanna fire off the Peer Through Depths now because I don't want them to counter on my turn. And if they need to spend the mana, well, do it on your turn, right? And yeah, and surely they have the Pyroblast up. But I'm gonna cast the Peer Through Depths at the end of turn because if you counter it, yeah, fine. And I think that's basically the best hand they could possibly draw because yeah, I like a second Eye Tide because they probably have a counter, a discard, a rat as a way to put up pressure, and the Spellbomb, which is not the best, but some form of interaction for sure. Yeah, I like all these cards, and I'm gonna take everything, and at the end of their turn I'm gonna brainstorm and put back Hidden Strings with something on top, and on my turn I'm gonna transmute the counter for the puppetry, and then I'm ready to go. I don't think they're gonna counter the brainstorm. Yeah, allora. Hidden Strings I don't need, and the third Ideas Unbound also I don't need. Yeah, and I'm gonna search for a land because the first land is not bad, and also I don't want to draw those cards. Now I need, oh, pretty cool actually, and now I'm gonna transmute the Muddle the Mixture because this cannot be countered, and I'm gonna take the Psychic Puppetry so that I can start the combo. And if they go for a discard spell, I could use Merchant Scroll to take whatever they take. And if not, I could Merchant Scroll to take Giga Draws. And on the end of their turn, tap the 2 mountains because they just have 2 red lands. And they usually play just 1 mountain, maybe 2. So, okay, so if on my next turn I grab the Giga Draws and tap the 2 mountains, it's pretty easy for me to combo then, because they need to have the second mountain plus the Hydroblast. The Pyroblast, sorry. Okay, the fountain is fine. And this time it's pretty hard to fizzle because I will draw 6 cards and anything can happen, but you know. Okay, the second Merchant Scroll is not bad, because now I take the Giga Draws and I pass. If they do nothing, I tap them down and combo on my turn, and if they do rest, I just pass, Merchant Scroll again, and try the turn after. So it's pretty safe. Yeah, the Galvanic Blast and... Okay. Do you have the third Galvanic Blast in 3 cards? In 20 cards? And you see, this version of the deck, it's a little bit better versus High Tide. Of course, because they have Galvanic Blast, but they also have been very, very lucky, I think. Let's see if they have the third Galvanic Blast. Yeah, so be it. Yeah. Yeah, they probably don't have the Galvanic Blast, right? Because if they have, they just attack and boat me, right? But let's see. They are deciding if they want to put the Fanatical Offering on top or not. And probably they won't, because they can cycle the Blood Token and fire off the Fanatical Offering in search for the Galvanic Blast, because they know I have Giga Draws, so there's no point in keeping red mana up. Okay, let's see what happens. Of course, if they have another Dispute FX in hand, they need to put this on the graveyard, but let's see what they choose to do. They are thinking, and I don't think... Oh, yeah. So they kept on top. They draw, and they are gonna fire off the Dispute and keep the draws for bridge up, because maybe they draw a Duress. And they attack. And yeah, I take. I could tap the rat and 1 red mana, but then what? I lose to Pyroblast. It seems more likely they have a Pyroblast. And they cycle again. That's strange. Okay, if they duress, I tap them down, because even if they take the High Tide or the Puppetry, I can start the combo on my turn. Okay, so Giga Draws with Replicate. Tap this one, replicate once, and tap this one. And do you have Galvanic Blast? Okay, so I tap them both. And do you have 2 Pyroblasts? And yeah, you probably do. In fact, yeah. And as I said, basically they drew the perfect hand, and my hand was fine, but not the best. And but it's not a given that I am gonna lose. But, oh yeah. Okay. Fire High Tide off. They're gonna counter, I think. But I'm gonna win anyway, I think, because now I'm gonna go High Tide, Merchant Scroll, another High Tide, and then draw my old deck. And they should fire off the High Tide, the counter here, because if not, I'm gonna tap them down the road and Merchant Scroll. Take the last High Tide. And now I'm gonna start the chain. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna... And this... It's not the best. Okay, so now I have 4 mana. I know, but I have strings. Okay, so now I think I go for strings and cast Pieces of the Puzzle and see what happens. Yeah, I want to tap my islands. And now I would like to cast my Pieces of the Puzzle. And Pieces and Puppetry. Not the best, okay, but not the worst either. I need to find some... yeah, that's 5 mana. Okay, so I cast Preordain because if I draw an arcane spell, we are golden. And of course, this is not an arcane spell. Wow, incredible stuff. Yeah, so now I need to use to burn up puppetry to make mana. Because I'm running out of mana. And yeah. And now I'm gonna cast another pieces of the puzzle and hope this one delivers. Yeah, it did. And now I think I take 2 Aegis Unbound and continue to go off. I'm not sure if I... Okay. Yeah. This is good. And now I'm gonna cast Peer before the other Aegis Unbound because I want to draw another untap effect to start generate mana. And yeah, here it is. Okay. Now we are generating mana. And we should be fine now. Okay, do we have... Okay, now it's the time we cast a Stream of Thought and to shuffle something back because our library is becoming anemic. Okay, so I could cast a Brainstorm to start. Okay, I don't need these cards. I have 9 mana. So this is 4 and this is 5. I could do for 8. Yeah, and I think I will do for 8. And this one on them. Replicate once. And this one on me. The first one it's on me because I want to mill the lands that I put on top and I want to shuffle back. Okay, and our opponent conceded. Thank you, opponent. Yeah, I'm gonna submit again, and I think that's the best. Maybe we could consider bringing one Dispel in because first of all, it could counter a Galvanic Blast, and second, it could be good if they have few cards in hand but many red mana, because maybe Giga Draws does nothing, and at that point maybe you just you search for the Dispel, which is better. That could be a consideration. And what if we cut the Augur of Bolas? Yeah, I kinda like it. Yeah, I kinda like it. This is not the best end. It's a fine end. In fact, it's not very good, but piece of the puzzle is very good in the matchup, so I'm gonna keep. And also, I have a Night Tide, which is a good place to start. Of course, they could discard, but if they discard, they probably take the pieces of the puzzle here. And if they take the piece of the puzzle, it's not very good, but again, we can draw Brainstorm, another pieces of the puzzle. That's a lot of things that we could draw. And also, they are likely to keep hand with fast rats, because that's a clock and that's a form of interaction. So having bad cards in hand is not that is not that problematic in the matchup sometimes. But of course, drawing another Lorien Reveal is not the best. And I don't think I'm gonna cycle. Oh, Jigsaw Infiltrator. Okay. Another dead draw. Right. Let's go. I think I'm gonna cycle one of these Lorien Reveals because there's no way I'm gonna cast all these cards. And this is a pretty scary combo because the Kirkland Shaman could turn all the artifacts in +1/+1 counters for the Jigs and Infiltrator. So that's something to keep an eye off on. Dispute. Yeah. And I'm gonna go to discard because I have 8 cards in hand after the pieces of the puzzle resolve. But that's fine. I'm gonna take the High Tide and the Psychic Puppetry, I think. Okay. And I'm gonna discard Lauren Revealed. I could discard the land, but I want the 4th land anyways. So if they go for Rat, I discard the land, I think. Discarding the Lauren Revealed, it's bad if we draw exactly Island. But first of all, it's not that likely. And second of all, it's not the end of the world anyways. But it's better in pretty much every other case. Okay. No, I'm gonna discard Lauren Reveal again. Because next turn I'm probably... Yeah. If they tap out, I'm gonna go for the combo. Okay. And they're gonna take Psychic Puppetry. I'm gonna fire off my pieces of the puzzle and likely start my combo the turn after that. Okay. And having the first land, it's good after pieces of the puzzle, because if I draw a Preordain or a Brainstorm, I would gladly be able to cast that. They could map token the Jigs and Infiltrator, and it's a +2/+2, and they should do that. I know they maybe have Pyroblast, but it's unlikely that I combo this turn anyways, and they will not win this game if they play too conservatively, I think. Oh, but they want to counter my pieces of the puzzle. So, yeah, that could be right. Yeah, fire off your counter spell, and I'm fine with that. And now I just need to draw any draw spell, I think. I have basically 2 turns to draw any draw spell. Unless they have some other cards, but you know, 13 cards, they drew a clock, a refurbished familiar, a duress, a pyroblast. It's pretty unlikely that they have other stuff. Okay, and they reveal a Galvanic Blast. This changes the equation. X7, yeah, it does. Because it's 7, 7, 14. Yeah, I'm dead next turn. Okay, so I need to draw something good this turn, or I lose. And, you know, by how the game played out, this seems like a pretty hard matchup for High Tide. And it really is not. I've been pretty unlucky. Pretty unlucky, and they drew pretty well. But, of course, it happens because that's a powerful deck, and they draw a lot of cards, and that could happen. And also they are a little bit more ready for the matchup with the Galvanic Blasts and the Jigs and Infiltrators. But let's see. They're deciding what to do with the Galvanic Blast, and I think it means they have another Galvanic Blast in hand, because there's no way you there's no way you graveyard the Galvanic Blast if you don't have another one in hand. Yeah, now I'm gonna start the combo if I find a draw spell. Let's see. And of course, we don't. Yeah, and we are punished because we drew 3 Lauren Reveals and then the lands. Because if it was the other way around, we could have discarded the land and keep the Lauren Reveal and maybe start the combo. But that's not the case. So now I'm gonna play my land, pass, tap the Jigs and Infiltrator, and see what happens. Let's go. Do you have a counter? Yeah, I want to tap. Pretty impressive stuff, to be honest. It's not impossible for me to win now, but pretty unlikely, but let's see what happens. And they fire off the Galvanic Blast, because why not? Yeah. 2 mana? Okay. And no draw spell to be found anywhere. Okay. GG opponent. Welcome to match number 2. Let's see what happens. And okay, this is a keeper. Brainstorm plus a shuffle effect. It's basically always a keep. And this, it's this end lacks a lot of pieces of the combo, but we have Ideas Unbound and we have a Brainstorm, and by turn 2 we see 5 new cards. So, and they mulligan to 5. Okay, that's an High Tide. Let's pass. And I'm not gonna Brainstorm on the end of the turn. I could Brainstorm and shuffle on my upkeep, but I don't have a 2 mana spell anyways. And now I'm gonna pass, and now I'm gonna do that because on the third turn I'm gonna cast Peer to Depths. And I could have, if I had gone for the Brainstorm at the end of their turn and Lorien on my upkeep, I didn't have 2 mana anyways to go for the Peer. So it's better to delay the thing and draw another card. And we need 2 pieces to start the combo, but we have plenty of time, and we have a Peer to Depths to maybe find one. And we are gonna fire off the Peer to Depths at the end of the turn. And it was a mistake I should have done on my turn, because if I find a Preordain, then I cast the Preordain. They go for the Chrysalis, okay. And Peer to Depths. And we find, I think, Muddle is the best, because it's a 3 mana way to search for a combo piece, and that's all I want now. Yeah, yield to all. You can have your Chrysalis. And now we are gonna play the land, because we have 2 bad cards to discard to the rats anyways. Let's transmute and take the Psychic Puppetry. And yeah, the combo, it's better to start the combo once you have 3 of these 2 cards. But with all those untaps, I could also try to start the combo with less mana. And because with 9 cards, I will probably find another High Tide or Psychic Puppetry. But it's not like I'm in a rush. Yeah, okay. I discard the Snap because that one can fizzle. In fact, if I snap the Chrysalis, they could card crunch. Oh yeah, but I could have gone for this one. Yeah, next turn it's 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think I'm in a rush, so I can just cycle and play land. What if I start the combo? This is -1, -1, -1. I have 6 mana. The first one is 5, and then 4, and then 3, and in 9 cards I need to... But you know what? I don't think I'm in a rush, so I'm not gonna force things. Do I wanna play a land? Yeah, I think I want. Yeah, because if I don't draw High Tide or Psychic Puppetry on the next turn, I'm gonna need my mana to break even, to cast my Ideas Unbound that don't break even. And now I'm gonna start the combo, because next turn I'm gonna die if I don't do that now. And even if they have Galvanic Blast, I'm not dead. So, good. And yeah, let's go for the combo. It's not your time, Brainstorm, because I have all good cards in hand. Okay. Yeah, I would like to untap my lands. I would like to cast this one, and I'm not casting Brainstorm because I wanna fire off the Brainstorm once I have a way to shuffle. I'm gonna play another High Tide, and I'm gonna yeah. Now I have 2 bad cards in hand, the lands, and I have a way to shuffle, so it's the perfect time to go for a Brainstorm. I'm gonna do this one, and I have a lot of mana, so I don't need another Psychic Puppetry. I take Peer Through Depths. And now I could Brainstorm again. But I can do better, I think. So, okay. And I have pieces of the puzzle as a draw spell. Yeah, I take Psychic Puppetry now, because I don't need another piece of the puzzle. I have one, and I think it's enough. And now I think I cast the pieces of the puzzle. And I send back the Brainstorm again, because I don't want my... Okay, this is good, and this is also good. And now I'm gonna cast a stream and shuffle back some things. I remember, when you cast stream, you should always check if you have the other stream in the graveyard, because if you put both on the graveyard, then you lose. And now I hidden strings to generate mana. Yeah, I want to untap. And again. Okay, so now I go for the Brainstorm, because I'm gonna shuffle, and I'm gonna go for a replicated stream. So the original it's on you, and the copy it's on me. Oh, I don't know what happens. It doesn't make me choose the target. It's very strange. So I don't know where is this stream of thought going. Probably on the opponent, because I don't know, Magic Online is losing it, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite me. And I'm lagging hard now, so that could be rough, because combo turns could be long. So let's hope this is not a problem. Okay. And I shuffle back. Peer. Ideas. Okay. And with the second one, yeah, I shuffle back. Peer. Merchant Scroll. Ideas Unbound. And another Eye Tide. Okay, so now let's continue the combo turn by splicing 2 Psychic Puppetries. And now the deck is full of good cards, so it's basically impossible to fizzle. Yeah, the third Puppetry. So it's just a matter of time, and we just cast a spell. And every time we do that, we... What happens? I don't know. Let's do that again. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I pay my mana, and I take Ideas Unbound. I love Ideas Unbound. And yeah, any order is fine. Yeah, I want to untap. And I'm generating a lot of mana. Yeah, I can just do that, because now all it matters is to be fast. Okay, let's do that. Let's get up another arcane, and Peer to Depths. It's good here, and we untap, and basically as soon as we find the stream, we are gonna fire off the little stream, and that's it. And now fire the Brainstorm. Okay, so here the card. And we also have the deep analysis to kill them. Okay, so splice, made a lot of mana. It's not even needed, but it's just to show that if they have something, we can generate an infinite loop. It's not like we need to do that, but okay. So it's 10 copies, it's 40, and that's enough. And we shuffle the other copy back. And if something goes wrong, we can continue the combo and fix it. Okay, let's just shuffle these cards back in, right? Just to be safe. Okay, and they conceded. Nice. Thank you, opponent. And again, against them, we don't need the snap. And we are gonna bring in a second copy of Gigadros. And we could bring in the Dispel and cut the Ogre of Bolas. I'm gonna do that because it's pretty likely that they have Pyroblasts. And it's not clear to me if they do have the Galvanic Blast. I could have checked the graveyard, but they conceded, so we will never know. And this is a keep. Because we have all the combo, we have a protection spell. Yeah, one lander with Preordain, it's perfectly fine. And Preordain is so good that you draw the land even if you don't cast the Preordain. Yeah, I think I love all these cards because the third land, it's pretty much needed. And the second Merchant Scroll, it's a way to protect us from the duress that they are pointing at us right now. And this is basically the perfect hand for us. Next turn, we are gonna Merchant Scroll for High Tide and keep the second Merchant Scroll for later. And at that point, we are ready to go. We just need at least one draw spell. But at the worst, if worst come to worst, we still have a Merchant Scroll to go get one. And High Tide it is. Let's go, opponent. Your turn. And now there is a mind game that we could play. Because they don't know we have Gigadros. So maybe they start going slow because they have a Pyroblast and they keep the Pyroblast up. And as long as we don't reveal the fact that we have Gigadros, we could make them spend their mana in a bad way. We could Merchant Scroll for a draw spell, but I think it's too early to do that because, you know, first of all, they have a red mana up. And second, they could go for Duress, and then having Merchant Scroll, it's good. And there's no pressure. And they are skipping land drops, so... Okay, again, I'm not gonna fire off the Merchant Scroll. No need to do that. And you see, they maybe are keeping the land up. And it's very good because by not showing the Gigadros and not playing spells, we are kinda using a Rishadan port, right? Because you have a Pyroblast and what do? You tap out on turn 5? No way. And they likely have a land. No, they don't. Very lucky for me. And at this point, playing spells into their counters, it's... Okay, now we fire off the Merchant Scroll because even if they go for duress, we have more than enough things to tap the lands or start a combo. And if they counter... Yeah, they could do that, but what do? You counter the Merchant Scroll, and maybe you do that if you have many copies of many Pyroblasts, but even if you do that, okay, it's not the end of the world because I have 16 life points. If they have just one, no way they are gonna use it. And if they have more than one, they should probably use it because... Oh yeah, okay. Good play by the opponent, I think. Okay. And I could have used a Gigadros or something like that to tap the red and to force through my Merchant Scroll, but I don't need to do that. Yeah, at this point I think I'm gonna discard the Gigadros because I can use the Psychic Puppetries to tap stuff. Okay, now we are a little bit in a hurry because the clock is getting real, and we basically just need to find a land before the end of time, which is something we are not very good at doing, apparently, in a deck with like 35 draw spell cards, but it happens. Yeah, that's 5 and 5 and 5. We have 2 turns, basically. No, that's not true. We could tap the creature, but I would prefer to not do that. Duress, okay. You take probably a tide. And now we cannot go off, because if they counter our lonely High Tide, then we lose the game. I don't think this is a list with the Galvanic Blast. First of all, they have cast down here. Second of all, they never showed us the card, and Third, they don't seem to have Gixian Infiltrator. And I don't think you play Galvanic Blast if you don't play an aggro version with Gixian Infiltrator, right? Long story short, I go to 4 with no fear. And they play Lembas, which will not be enough to save them because I'm gonna tap it and then make them draw a card. And at the end of the turn, I'm gonna Psychic Puppetry on this one and Splice. Oh no, it's actually I'm gonna do it for 4. Yeah, but okay, let's think this through. If they just have one Pyroblast, the best thing to be doing is to use all 3, to use one and splice the other to tap the Spell Bomb and the Lance, and that's it. But if they have 2 Pyroblasts and they counter 1, then they have the bridge up. But at that point, I'm not even sure if I tap the other land. Yeah, I think I do. Because I have a lot of mana. No, oh. Okay. Let's make sure to not mess around. So, this one on the first one, and Splice on the hidden one. Okay. If they use a Pyroblast, then I use another Psychic Puppetry to tap the bridge. Okay. That's exactly what's happening. And if they don't have another Pyroblast, then they tricked me, which is probably the truth. But I think I'm likely to win anyways, so I prefer to do like that. Fine, but not the best. 3 cards for me. I have 7 mana. And okay. Yeah, I want to use Ideas Unbound. I could brainstorm and then stream myself to shuffle back cards. And that's what I am gonna do. And brainstorm. And yeah, many lands. Nice. Yeah, let's put this thing here. Let's stream them. And shuffle back in. I died. Psychic Puppetry. Ideas Unbound. And another I died, I think. Okay. And Preordain. Will you deliver? So and so. So I have 6 mana, I use 5, and on top I go to 3 mana. I don't think that's enough, right? I take the Merchant Scroll. I have 4 mana. I go to 3. Yeah, I think I try. Okay. Peer through depths. Ideas Unbound, it's here? No, it's not. So I think this is doom for me. Yeah, I don't think there's a way, but let's try. 3 mana, I go to 2, and no, I don't think there's a way. Okay. Let's not waste time and go again on the next game. Yeah, I think this time I cut the Dispel because they seem to have a lot of Pyroblasts, so it's better to go for the Gildros. Let's try like this. Okay. Okay, this is a pretty good keep. And I think we are not casting Preordain on turn 1 because it's better to send back that one and... Because now we don't know what do we need. And it's better to cast the card when you know what you want to find. Okay, and we're gonna go get High Tide for sure. Your turn. Next time we are gonna preordain into maybe a land and merchant scroll, or... yeah, I don't want to skip my land drop, so preordain. Huh. No, I think this is a trap, because I have merchant scrolls and I'm gonna cast the brainstorm, because I could shuffle with merchant scroll. Yeah, they fetch. If they pyroblast, it's pretty bad, but not the end of the world. And we we skip a land drop. Nice. Okay, your turn. Okay, duress. This means we are not gonna go to discuss spell next turn, and they should probably take preordain. And no, they take High Tide, which is a bit greedy, I think. Because basically they are banking on us not finding lands with the preordain. While it's clear that I'm locked because I was searching for lands and I didn't found lands, because preordain bottom, then brainstorm, and then not make your land drops. It's a pretty clear message. But maybe they have a counter. And I need to preordain and waste my mana. Unless I find a land, and here is a land. And go for the merchant scroll. And take High Tide again. And counter. Okay. Okay, but that's not the end of the world, because I have many ways to find pieces, because Pierce through depths digs for 5 cards, which is pretty good. Yeah. Now I'm gonna not cast the merchant scroll. This is pretty bad. I'm gonna... No, I'm gonna pass the turn. Because it's pretty unlikely that I use Pierce to depths to take preordain, and even if I take brainstorm, I don't cast brainstorm this turn. So I'm gonna go end of turn, because if they wanna tap out, yeah, okay, tap out, and then I resolve my Pierce to depths. And if you counter, then on my turn I can fire off whatever I want. And they're skipping land drops. 2. Okay, I fire off the Pierce to depths because I wanna see what my Pierce to depths deliver before I decide if I wanna scroll for the High Tide or anything else. They surely have a counter. This pose is a clear message. And they put on the bottom Pierce to depths. I think I take the brainstorm. And I'm not sure if I fire off the brainstorm, because if I do and they counter, yeah, but if I draw a land and then I Pierce through depths and they counter and I merchant scroll, it's pretty good. Okay, this is good, this is not, so this I don't want, and this it's fine. Okay, now I play the Ogre of Bolas to unlock the brainstorm. If they counter, I go for the merchant scroll, and if they don't, I just pass the turn. So now I could fire off my Pierce to depths at the end of turn to find another combo piece or a Gigadros, and then use merchant scroll for the other one. Okay, they dispute. And remember, it's very, very likely that they have a Pyroblast in hand, but they have just one red land, so I could just use Psychic Puppetry to tap the red land and be safe. Yeah, cast this one in response so that I see what I want to discard. And it's probably I dismount. Now I fire off a pieces of the puzzle, they are gonna counter. And on the next turn I'm gonna go merchant scroll. And if I draw a land, I'm also gonna cast the merchant scroll this turn. But for sure I start with pieces of the puzzle. Ogre of Bolas, it's nice in the sense that can block something. Yeah, pieces. No way they're gonna let this one resolve, but I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is I'm using my mana in a bad way, not because I'm playing bad, I think, but because of how the things went. And now if they counter the pieces of the puzzle, I waste one mana. It's pretty bad, but it's the same if I cast the Merchant Scroll, right? So there's no point in doing the other way around. And I think since I have all the pieces I need, Merchant Scroll is more... Oh, wow. Okay, so it resolved, and yeah, they probably have just one copy of the Pyroblast in hand. And they know about my Merchant Scroll, so maybe they are keeping the thing in hand for the Merchant Scroll. Dispute again, okay. 5th land. No, unlucky. A land would be good for us. This is kind of a land. Yeah, we play pieces of the puzzle now. And it's pretty hard for me to imagine you wanting to counter this one if you let the previous one resolve, right? If you let resolve the one that I cast when I have 4 cards in hands, it's pretty hard. Because as far as they know, I'm gonna go to discard. Yeah, I don't think I need hidden strings, so that can go to the graveyard. And I'm gonna cycle this one. And I'm gonna go to discard, and at that point it's probably maybe just better to fire off this stream and shuffle back some goodies. Yeah. I don't mill myself, because if I mill the other stream, that could be rough. And so I shuffle back I Tide and all the arcanes, I think. They are deciding if they want to counter this card. That could be a good move if I had the other one in the graveyard, but I do not, so I think it's not the best use of your resources if you do that, but I don't know the content of the end, so maybe I'm wrong. And they counter that, which I think it's good for me. Next turn I'm gonna fire off both Merchant Scrolls. And I'm gonna not care about the Giga Draws, because they have 2 red mana, but they also already cast 2 Pyroblast, and it's pretty unlikely that they have another one. So I just take 2 I Tide and force... Oh, okay. Merchant Scroll. I Tide. Merchant Scroll. Another I Tide. Okay, let's go to discard. And I think I'm gonna discard Deep Analysis, because that way they are probably going to use the Spell Bomb now. And I don't think I need a Spell Bomb once I go through the combo next turn. Because even if they have 2 Lambas, yeah, and they... Yeah, of course they have 2 more turns, but that's not enough to kill me, I think. Okay. And I'm gonna start with hidden strings. Tap all your red sources. Okay, it resolves. It's in. Oh no. Tap, yeah. Tap. Tap, yeah. I tap. And I cipher. And now if I attack, I do it again. Yeah, I like it. Let's do that. Nice. Okay, I think now we just need to be fast. So, I Tide. I Tide. Okay, so I managed to tap them down. So No graveyard exile for me. And now I just cast my spells, and basically it's impossible to visual, and I still have deep analysis in the graveyard because they didn't use the... And the opponent says, ho sbagliato. And that's true, but it can happen. Okay, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. And now I'm gonna basically shuffle with this. Okay. I take Psychic Puppetry. Any order? Yeah. And tap Lembas so that they cannot use it. Okay, and now we have infinite mana and we cast a Preordain. Yeah, Brainstorm, it's fine because we have a lot of mana and we cast pieces of the puzzle. We take Peer to Depths and muddle the mixture. Yeah, because we have 10 cards in the deck and it's fine, and we can make a loop with the counter. We could counter our copy of Stream of Thought and shuffle that back with the card itself. Okay, so now we untap, we draw the rest of the deck, and we make a loop. No. Yeah. Cast Lorien Revealed. And we now just tap. Everything. We tap the mana, Lembas, and blah blah blah. And we go for the kill. Lembas and this one. Okay. Okay, so now we make a bunch of mana. We cast this one on top, on top, on top, on top. Yeah, what happened? Oh, but yeah, I put my second Stream of Thought in the graveyard. Oh my god, because that was pieces of the puzzle and not Peer to Depths, and I put the card on the graveyard. Oh my god, because that was pieces of the puzzle and not Peer to Depths, and I put the card on the graveyard. Welcome to match number 3, and let's see if we can play like human beings this time. Okay, this is a pretty good end. Keep. And we are on the draw this time. And we are gonna go for Preordain this time because we have the second land, so no Lorien Revealed for us on turn 1. Island, okay. What's this? Okay, a strange Preordain. So this could be a mirror match. Okay, that's good. No. And no, I don't think I have time. But turn. Okay, so if this is a mirror match, I want to combo on my third turn, and Brainstorm, it's not the best way to do that. So, at least this could make me survive a turn. Yeah, and this is a mirror match for sure. I died, okay. I cannot play Skirt. I need to play my Merchant Scroll and go grab a Psychic Puppetry. If they combo me on turn 3, okay. And if not, I cycle Lorry Revealed, I have muddled the mixture up and maybe try on my third turn. Okay, nice. I'm alive, or so it seems. You know, that's not bad. Because if they go for the combo, I could Giga Draws in response to the High Tide, and that will probably stop their combo. Okay, Brainstorm is fine. And if they don't go for the combo, I Peer Through Depths at the end of their turn in search for another combo piece, and then maybe use Giga Draws to survive. Okay, Preordain is fine. Lorry Revealed, okay. Love this island. Okay, I could Giga Draws them and try to combo my turn, but it's a little bit hardcore because I have just 3 lands and I need another piece. So I go High Tide, Peer Through Depths. I have 1 mana floating and tap 3 mana, hidden strings up to 5. And if I need this one to deliver. Or I could just Peer Through Depths, pass the turn with Giga Draws up. Yeah, I think it's better. Because it's pretty unlikely that I die with a Giga Draws up. It could happen, of course, but... yeah, Psychic Puppetry it is. Let's hope to draw a land. Land it's the best. This is not a land, and I need to pass now. I cannot tap out 4 pieces of the puzzle, because if I do that, I'm most certainly dead. And I think I'm gonna discard... So, I'm gonna keep this one for sure, and I could discard Muddle the Mixture. No, but Muddle, it's a 5 mana Ideas Unbound. Yeah. So I discard piece. What's that? Giga Draws? Okay, they just tap 1. Okay. I can live with that. And discard pieces of the puzzle. And now they're gonna go for High Tide for sure. Another land, yeah. And now Giga Draws is not good anymore. Okay, what if I tap 2 lands and then they have... No, but they cast another High Tide in response. No, I think I just let them do their thing and I cast Muddle the Mixture on the first draw spell. And now it's the time. Okay, it worked. Oh, so maybe I should have used Giga Draws. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe that was good enough. Maybe I should have used the Giga Draws for 1, but this is a pretty hardcore turn for them. I think the chances of them killing me are not very high. In fact, GiorgioCombo wins. Okay. Yeah, this spell is good. Envelope, it's good. Muddle the Mixture, it's good. And in this matchup, I think I can safely cut this one and this one. And I could do like this. But at the same time, I could also try to put in Augur of Bolas and Snaps, because they are good versus Giga Draws. And I'm not even sure if Giga Draws is good or not. Maybe one copy it's good. Yeah, if they have Giga Draws, I just lose, I think. I can do that. Oh yeah, Snap does nothing on its own, so... yeah, I could... What if I do like... I don't know, I cut a cantrip, I put 2 Augur of Bolas, I cut these 2, and then I cut 2 of these and play 2 snaps. Because if I have Augur, I... Yeah, but that's very slow, because I need to find my Augur and my snap. No, I don't think it is gonna work. So let's just put those in, and... yeah, put the Brainstorm back in, and put a second Giga Draws, I think. And when I'm on the play, I'm gonna try to go faster, so I will probably put the Augur back in instead of the second Giga Draws, I think. Yeah, control end, which is what you want to have when you are on the draw, I think. Okay, Preordain again, and they have all different islands. Very cool ones. Okay, I'll end it's fine. If they go for the Matcha Scroll, I'm surely gonna envelop. They do not. And so I'm gonna pass, play a land, and pass back. Because No need to fire off the Peer to Depths now. Third land, and now I cast my Peer to Depths. Yeah, for sure another Peer to Depths. I'm not gonna tap out, that's for sure. Brainstorm is fine. I could counter it, but you know, if you play a tide and you don't fire off any cantrip until turn 3, and you're on the play and you wanna go fast because it's the mirror match, what do you have in hand? If you don't have cantrips, probably you have combo pieces, right? So I don't think it's good to counter the Brainstorm here. Okay, pass back. Maybe I should have cast the Peer to Depths, but you know, I cast Peer to Depths here. What do I find? I find a counter and a combo piece. What do I take? Yeah, but now I do. I think I need to take this Brainstorm because my hand is starting to become garbage, and I'm gonna fire off the Brainstorm. And I'm gonna put back some lands. And I'm also gonna shuffle with my Lauren revealed. Okay. Now I have many counters, but again, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tap out for my Merchant Scroll. Instead, I think I'm gonna pass because I have lands, and if we, you know, if we go draw go, as long as I have lands in hand, this favors me, right? And I have a lot of counters, and I'm not sure if they do have counters, so okay. And I'm gonna cycle Orient end of turn, because now they're gonna go to discard, right? And I'm not, because I am the one making land drops. And 5 mana at the end of turn, what's that? Oh yeah, it's Giga Draws. Okay, so they're gonna tapping 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I leave 2 lands up, yeah, let's say I use Muddle Mixture, I save 1 land, and I have 2 lands on top. They go for I-Tide, I let I-Tide resolve, and then I try to fight on the spells they cast after that. So, which one is the... Okay. Yeah. You're gonna tap this one. No, I'm gonna take my mana and cycle this one, because that's one I want to do at the end of your turn anyways. Okay, if you have another way to tap me down, then okay, you win. I don't think I countered the I-Tide, because if I counter the I-Tide, then that's what I need. That's all I have. Okay, 4 mana, and now I have 2 counters up, because remember, I-Tide, it's symmetrical, so now my island's tap for 2. And I'm gonna cast Envelope. And you dispel. And I'm gonna muddle the Ideas Unbound. If you have... Oh, nice. It worked. Okay. I could go for it. I could wait. They clearly don't have other I-Tides in hand, so... I know this is bad because you usually want to cast your scrying after you shuffle, but I wanted to see... Oh, that's awful. Okay, cast this one. And your turn. Okay, shuffle things back. So you mill yourself and you shuffle back. Okay. On my turn, I'm gonna go for it, I think. Yeah, because I don't have counters anymore, so I scroll and I take the puppetry. And waiting does nothing, because it's not like I have ways to... Yeah, I could find... No, I think it's better to go for it. 3 mana, they counter with 3 mana counter. What's that? Oh, they tap our lands. Okay, that's very good. Because I have enough mana anyways, and they wasted one of their puppetries. Yeah. And even if I fizzle, I have infinite mana, infinite time now. And this one resolves. And now I just cast this one and splice. And yeah, I want to use this one. And before I go for the second I tide, I cast Preordain because I'm not in a rush now. You know, maybe I'm just gonna wait another turn. Yeah, they just have one card in hand. What if I just wait? I put this one on top and take the Peer to Depths. I think I can afford to do that, actually. Good. I discard my lands, but that's not a problem. And they don't have anything. It's impossible for them to combo. Okay, Preordain, it's fine. And they put 2 on top. Okay, that's good. And pieces of the puzzle for... at this point, I think it's Ideas Unbound. Merchant Scroll and Ideas Unbound. Okay, so Merchant Scroll and they have Ideas Unbound. I tied. And now I'm gonna go for it. Let's go. Yeah, this one is better because it's cost less mana. And as long as I draw... yes. I do have enough mana, maybe, for 19. So 4 if I use 2 mana here. And I go to 17, I gain 8, so it's 25. And this one is 3 mana for 8, so it's 30. Yeah, I think it's just enough, right? Let's count again. I use strings. Okay, so 3 mana, I go to 20, and I go to 28. Minus 2, it's 28, it's 26. And I tap 4. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. So, at this point, what I should do is just cast with replicate. Target you. I think 3 copies, it's fine, so that I shuffle everything back in. And then I hope my Brainstorm delivers. Which is like, what if I do this on myself, actually? Yeah, I think it's just better, right? Yeah, I do this on myself for 7 mana left. I just mill everything and shuffle back. So it's 16 cards. I go to 9 cards in my... Yeah, I think it's better to do like this. Okay, so I shuffle back. Stream. No, but actually I could do that with the last one. Peer to Depths. Ideas Unbound. Ideas Unbound. And Peer to Depths. Okay. Now, let's do that again. Okay. Shuffle back 1, 2. And Stream of Thought. Okay. Let's do that again. Preordain, Preordain, Preordain. Lauren revealed. Okay. The last one. Peer to Depths. Peer to Depths. Lauren revealed. And Merchant Scroll. Okay. And now, Brainstorm. Give me the goods. Yeah, you did. This one I don't need, and probably this one I also don't need now. Peer to Depths. Splice. Ideas Unbound I like. Yeah, I want to untap. And now I want to fire off my Ideas Unbound. Now I want to fire off Ideas Unbound again. Yeah. I would like to untap. I play my land, because why not? And now I play Ideas Unbound again. And now we are approaching the loop. Okay. Yeah, we take... I think we just take Stream of Thought. Any order for that? I want to untap. I want to untap. Oh, I misclicked. Okay, so now I cast with no replicate on you, and I shuffle back Stream of Thought, ideas, and ideas. And now I cast this one. And once I go to 0 card in the library, I can start the loop. Yeah, ideas unbound. It's good. Yeah, I want to untap. Okay. A million cards in hand, and now... And your opponent says, GG's, the stream replicate target yourself was a cool play. Thank you, opponent. Welcome to match number 4. And again, this is a keepable hand. A very nice hand, because I have Brainstorm and Lauren Revealed. So everything is amazing when you have Brainstorm, Lauren Revealed, and an island. Okay, so I'm not gonna fire off the Brainstorm on my first turn, unless I have a very specific reason to. And what in the world? This doesn't seem like a very fast deck, so I think consistency it's more important than speed here. And I don't think I need all this stuff. And I'm gonna cast another Preordain. I just wanna find combo pieces. And that's a combo piece. On the next turn, I'm gonna draw, fire off my Brainstorm, shuffle my deck, and then decide. Okay, it's a Naya deck. Maybe... I don't know. Okay, this is also a combo piece. I really don't know what to expect. Okay, so now I have anything I need in order to combo out, and I don't think I need this island. Oh yeah, maybe I do. What if I... Okay, what if I shuffle back a Lauren Revealed and a Brainstorm? I keep this one, I play a land this turn, and next turn I go... No, I don't think it's correct to do that, because chances are I'm gonna find a land during my combo turn anyway, if I decide I want to combo next turn. But if I am still not in a hurry, I could just fire off my pieces of the puzzle and wait one more turn. Okay? Yeah, I don't see a reason to try and combo out this turn. And they concede the match. Okay, that was easy. And welcome to the last match. And again, this is a keepable hand. This deck has a keep rate which is incredibly high. And that's very, very cool. But wait a minute, because Zio Francone wrote me a message. Oh, it's an heart. Okay. And Walker wrote me another message, but I cannot answer now. And as I said before, I think I'm just gonna cycle Lauren Revealed. Because, yeah, I have Brainstorm, but I also have Merchant Scroll to shuffle. And now usually you want to cantrip before you use your tutor, because of course with cantrips you get what you find, while with tutors you decide what you want to get. But I don't want to waste my mana, and so here I'm gonna fire off this one. So Muddle could be a Psychic Puppetry, but I need a third land, and I think I'm gonna fire off my Brainstorm now. Okay, very nice. This I don't need, and this I don't need now. Yeah, next turn I'm gonna Merchant Scroll, and the turn after I'm gonna win. And I think it's unlikely that they kill me on their turn 3. It could happen without it. It could really happen, but it's very unlikely. But if they can kill me very fast, it involves Priest of Titania and Nyxborn Hydra. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10 mana. It's 8 and 7, 15. Okay, I don't die, but if they have how is it called, the thing that untap Queen Ranger, I could die. What if I just combo now? I died. 2 mana. Another I died. 4 mana. Merchant Scroll. 2 mana. Hidden Strings, 0 mana. And yeah, and we dance. Okay. And here is where having Hidden Strings really shines in the fast matchups. As you saw in a previous match, versus Jund is not very good to have this card in hand. But here is very good. Because I need to go fast here. Yeah, I can play land. And I can play pieces of the puzzle. Because if I find a puppetry, then my peer net me mana. What if I take just mana? Yeah, because I have a lot of card draw. Maybe I just Hidden Strings and Merchant Scroll. I find another puppetry. I go up on mana. Yeah, I think it's the better thing to do. Yeah, the best thing to do. Because the draw spell I found are not very good. And I have a lot of card draw in hand if I have the mana. 6 mana. I take Psychic Puppetry. I strings my lands. And now usually you want to draw before you cantrip, because you know what you need to find with your cantrips. But if I do that way, then I don't have enough mana to peer and double Psychic Puppetry, because that's 9 mana total and I have 8 now. So I'm just gonna net more mana, find, oh, I did some mount, very nice. Yeah, now I think we are golden. And now I don't even need to Lorien Revealed. Yeah, I have a lot of mana. And I think I Merchant Scroll for another I Tide here. And this is where I stop making mana and I go just for card draw. Because now I will have a whole lot of mana. And mana will not be an issue ever again. Okay, so now, since I have a lot of stuff in the graveyard, I'm gonna shuffle something back with Stream of Thought. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can do for a lot. So just Brainstorm, put back some of this stuff, and just go for Cast Will Replicate. This on you and this on me. Yeah, the copy it's on me, since I want to mill the lands I put on top. And now I shuffle back 8 cards. Peer to Depths, I Unbound, Peer to Depths. And with the second one, it's okay. Let's make sure I don't have a Stream of Thought in the graveyard. I don't. So I Unbound. Merchant Scroll, and Merchant Scroll. Okay. Well, now I continue to go for the combo. And at this point, I just need to not misclick and things are good enough. I know this is not the best way to do. It's better to keep lands untapped until you find your other copies of I Tide, but not misclicking, it's honestly more important right now. Yeah. So now I take another I Unbound. Any order. It doesn't matter since I'm gonna draw my whole deck now. Okay. And at this point, I just need to find my other Stream of Thought, right? And that's a guarantee, because, oh, and here it is. Any order. Untap, untap, untap. Yeah. Merchant Scroll so that I shuffle my deck, because I want to find deep analysis so that I win this turn. I take my counter because why not? Yeah, Lorien Revealed is good enough. Any order. And now I mill them, and They probably concede, and if they don't, I search my deep analysis and kill them with the deep analysis. And that's one of the reasons why this deck is so good. You have a lot of basically free matchups, and just to be sure, let's shuffle back some things in. Just because if something went wrong, we don't die. Okay, I don't need to shuffle things back anymore. And they try to eat my clock, and by doing so, they are showing me their deck. Which is not a big deal because I know the deck, but there's not a real reason to do that. Yeah, now I can just untap my lands and search for my deep analysis. So untap. Okay, draw 3. Yeah. And you draw 2 cards. You can draw 2 cards. Yeah. I give you 2 cards. Okay. And now, this is a fast matchup. So, and they have creatures. So, Hidden Strings is less good than Snap, because Snap does the same thing, but also give me more time. And at that point, Pieces of the Puzzle is not really needed because they don't grind me out. And Ogre of Bolas is better because it costs less mana and it's a snappable thing. And other than that, I don't think we need to do a lot of stuff. Giga Draws is not very good, and Envelope is also not very good, but probably better than Giga Draws. Well, I'm not even sure that's correct, right? Because, okay, so these 2 cards I could cut. But yeah, they are. What if I just cut 2 cards, those 2 cards, and I just put 2 Hidden Strings in? Yeah, just to be faster. Yeah, I think it's good because I don't think I need deep analysis. And they don't play blue. They showed us the deck, and we are sure they don't play blue, so we don't need to worry about counters. And this end, it's this end is very good, but it's also a trap. I have 18 lands plus Brainstorm and Preordain, 22, 26. So off the deck, it's a good draw. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep. I have 2 draw steps to draw one of those cards. I think we are approximately 70% to do that. Okay, for not being a land, this is a good draw. And their start is not the fastest either, so that's good. Maybe we can skip 1 land drop and still be fine. Not 2. I don't think 2 it's... I don't think we can skip 2 draw steps and 2 land drops and be fine. But 1, I think it's doable. They are thinking they... okay, so they attack. They take mana, they untap the Queen Ranger. And so they have 2 mana. Okay. Okay. So the start is not slow as I thought. And land? That's certainly not a land. Your turn. If I draw a land next turn, I think we are in pretty good shape because this hand can kill with just 2 lands. Yeah, okay. I think I have 1 more turn, not 2. Because in 2 attacks, they surely kill me. Because next turn, this is 6, 9, yeah. Okay, next turn I'll land or I lose, basically. And I don't need this one. And okay, your turn. I think if they just attack and pump, I'm dead next turn because that's 9 damage, right? 3, 6, 9, 10, yeah. They could probably just attack and put little out. Yeah, okay. Might as well cast that one, okay. And they find another land, okay. 7, 10, okay. Land. And that's not a land. Okay, nice. Maybe I could have just mulligan. I don't know. It seemed worthwhile because, you know, I think I had more than 80% chance to find something good. But also, maybe that was just bad. Yeah, I was 90% to find a cantrip or a land. Yeah, mulligan and keep this one, and I think I bottom a land. Yeah, I probably will need the third land, but I will probably also draw a land. I basically need 2 combo pieces, and I have like 7 looks to find them, and Brainstorm I don't think it's good enough. Okay, next turn I'm gonna Merchant Scroll, because I don't want to waste my mana versus a fast deck. And Preordain. Yeah, I'm still gonna Merchant Scroll. I know, as I said many times in this video, I know cantripping is better to do before the tutors, but at the same time I don't want to waste my mana, because speed is the name of the game here. Okay, 3 mana. Yeah, in fact. Okay, that's very good. So now I just take Puppetry. Now I play this one, and I just need to find one of these 2 cards, and I go off. No, I don't want to draw those cards. Next turn I think I need to go, because it's likely if they play like 2 elves. So if this attack and this pumps, that alone it's the number of elves they have times 2. So if they have 5 elves, it's 10. So as it stands, it's 8 damage. Okay, so it's 9, and they untap. No, they don't. Okay, I'm dead next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's plus 8, 9, 10, 11. Every elf they play, it's 2 more damage, right? Because it... Yeah, I think I need to try. Okay, snap, it's not bad at all. And I untap 2 lands. Okay, so now I think we are in pretty good shape, because even if we don't succeed with this Ideas Unbound, we have a lot of mana. Yeah, it's time to cast my Stream of Thought. We should consider the fact that they could have Fairy Macabre in their deck, so it's not completely free to just do the graveyard stuff. So that's 2, 4, 5 mana. What if I go Snap, Brainstorm, and... No, I think I need to cast another Ideas Unbound. Because if I Stream of Thought now and they use the Fairy Macabre on 2 Ideas Unbound, I shuffle basically nothing relevant. Okay, so I'm starting to net some mana, which is pretty good. And remember, we also have a land drop available, which is very good. Not now, but will be a eventually it will be. Yeah, Peer Through Depths, it's the best one because it's more mana. Okay, so now we have a lot of mana, but I think we need to start cashing in these brainstorms. But I don't have bad cards to put back in. So maybe I just do like this. No, I think it's time to cast my brainstorm and start doing the stream of thought thing. Okay, that's good. I don't need another brainstorm. I don't need another snap, I think. And now I snap, I don't know, this one. Yeah, untap 2 lands. And now I cast my stream of thought. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's enough on them. And I shuffle back 4 cards. All the arcanes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Now I think it's easy. I just need to not put my second stream of thought in the graveyard for no reason, because they could have the Fairy Macabre, and I will be fine. And Ideas Unbound, it's what I want to take because it's cut advantage. So this one first, because as always it's better to cantrip once you... no, maybe I misclicked. Let's make sure that I'm casting in the right way. Okay. Draw 3 cards. I like drawing 3 cards. I really do. And so I will go on drawing 3 cards again. Drawing 3 cards, it's very, very fun. Okay, so that's my land drop, which with the 4th puppetry means even more mana. And yeah, I think I cast my brainstorm now. Put those cards back in, and now I Peer Through Depths so that I clear my brainstorm. And by putting a brainstorm on top means if I put the brainstorm away, it's no problem because I don't really need the brainstorm now, but if I miss, I still have a brainstorm to take. And in fact, that's what happened. And now I'm just gonna cast... Oh no, I still have Ideas Unbound. So let's go for Ideas Unbound and net even more mana. And at this point, stream will be little. Yeah, it would be cool to find another Eye Tide so that I make even more mana. No, I don't need those cards. And yeah, this is an Eye Tide. Nice. And now splice everything. And let's take another arcane. Yeah, I like an Ideas Unbound. Put the Augur on the bottom, and I did in the wrong order, I think, but it doesn't matter. So now let's Ideas Unbound. Okay, and now I brainstorm, and then I and then I pass the brainstorm with my Preordain, and then I start casting my Lorien Revealed. And now, not shuffling the deck, it's good because I have 2 lands on the bottom. Eye Tide, okay. And another Lorien Revealed. Another Eye Tide. Brainstorm. And now, shuffling the deck, it's good. Because I have 2 lands on top. But I can also just cast my Arcane to pass through the Brainstorm. And that's good enough. Yeah, I miss, but that's not a problem. And now I cast Lore Revealed. And I think I'm drawing the Stream of Thought now, if I remember correctly. No, I'm not. But now I'm just making a lot of mana. I cast my Augur of Bolas so that I can snap the Augur of Bolas. And I find nothing. And then I snap the Augur of Bolas. And I cast it again. Yeah, let's go Augur of Bolas. Let's try again. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you did. I love you. Any order? Okay. And now I snap the Augur of Bolas. I untap my lands. 42 mana. I make even more mana. I make even more mana. Casting a Puppetry, splicing all the copies. And now I am gonna stream them to death. And okay, so I stream. What happens now is I stream them to death. No, because they concede, okay. But let's say they have something. I stream them to death. And I cast 2 copies more than I need to actually kill them. And further, with the first one, I shuffle back. I start shuffling back all the cards. But if somehow they have some way to exile my other Stream of Thought, then I mill them. And if they lose, they lose. If they have something to not lose, then I mud with. Remember, I have 2 copies more. So the original one and a copy still on the stack once they have 0 cards in their deck. So if I see that they have something which is relevant, I use Muddle the Mixer to counter the original one. And then with the copy in excess, I shuffle back the Stream of Thought and the Muddle the Mixer and, I don't know, 2 cards. And then I can go on again and basically make a loop to generate infinite mana and do it all over again. It's not needed, but sometimes it could be. And I think since this is the last match, it was cool to explain this little loop that you can do, because it didn't come up here, but it could. And when you play in paper, it's even easier. So I think on Magic Online, it's harder to do. So even if the situation comes up, it's really hard to do that. But in paper, it's better to know the loop because it could happen. And you actually have the time to do that because it's faster to play in paper. Well, 3-2, which is a 4-1 really, because I punted the game because I was talking. And if you know me, you know that when I record, I'm not very good at playing while I talk. So you know me if you are not new to this channel. We lost just 1 match because we have been very, very unlucky, I think. This deck is really, really powerful. Will it be banned? It's ban-worthy. I don't know. I don't like this kind of discussion. If it will be banned, we will play something else. We will wait and see. The deck, it's very, very hard if you are not a dedicated combo player. So if you want to play this deck at Pauper, start now practicing gold fishing and all that good stuff, because you need to go fast. You know, you need to increase the little percentages here and there. Even solitaire, it's very, very important. So do like 100 more games of Goldfish before you take this to a tournament. But if you are a dedicated combo player, like for example, like me, like Kalikais, or people like us, I don't think this deck is very, very hard in that case. Because in the history of the game, there have been a lot of decks like this one. I Tide in Legacy, in Pioneer, there have been the Lotus Field combo, KCI and Eggs in Extended and in Modern, and I don't know, stuff like Jeskai Ascendancy in Standard and Modern, stuff like that. During this league, I never felt I needed more hidden strings, so playing 1 Augur of Bolas I think was good, because, well, I fizzled when I had too much mana and too few draw spells, so another draw spell, it's good. And also this one, it's good in the bad matchups. fairies and mono red rally. So having one in the main deck, it's pretty good. I will experiment with more copies of Augur of Bolas in the main deck. I know Edo01 tried and didn't like it, but maybe instead of cutting the pieces of the puzzle, we could, I don't know, trim something else. I'm not really sure. I don't really like 2 stream of thought. I would prefer 1 stream of thought and 1 petal of insight, but it wasn't really a problem, so I don't think it's that big of a difference. And I like the sideboard. Envelope and Muddle the Mixture have been good in the mirror match, and they are good versus the spy deck, which I don't think it's very hard, but it's not that easy, I think. So I'm pretty happy with the list, but I would like to find more ways to put Augur of Bolas in the deck. Other than that, I think the deck is a blast to play. It's very, very fun, very, very strong, and I like it very much. So if you liked seeing me punt a game like an idiot, well, tell everyone, and if you don't, well, ma vattene a fan.